Welcome to yoga class. Today we're going to be doing some restorative yoga. I already have the yoga blocks underneath my knees because I just love that. It's very comfortable. I'm going to warm up with a little bit of Reiki because I need it. I'm a Reiki master, so we're just going to take in some nice energizing, relaxing, really Reiki, and you don't have to accept or have anything to do with this unless you want to. If you do, you can just say to yourself, I accept, or even just nod. So I'm just going to close my eyes and bring some energy in. I feel much better. So I have the energy going through me. I have a sequence of a few different positions I'm going to do. I have some yoga cards and I picked the sequence that I want to do with you today. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different moves, and then we'll do a relaxation pose at the end. I'll stay in them for generally about a few minutes. I just kind of go with what's in my mind. So we're going to start out with extended supported bridge pose. Now, if you don't have the props that I use, you can use pillows and blankets alternately. I do list the props that I use under the description. So what I like to do is I have a couple of yoga bolsters, and I use the small one at the bottom end and the bigger one at the top end. And I just lay them down, just like an inch or two apart. And what I'm going to do is, if you've ever done a bridge pose, you can keep some blocks handy for your head too. My bolster is long enough, I don't need them. But if your head's hanging off your bolster because it's shorter, then you can just rest your head on some pillows, blankets, roll up a blanket or fold a pillow in half and rest your head on there. So I'm going to sit on the edge of this bolster. And it's just a little bit away. And I'm going to lay back. And I'm just going to move myself up just a little bit. Just so it's kind of getting the end of my tailbone pretty much. And put my legs up. And your body will tell you where you need to be on it. And then we'll just relax in this for a few minutes. going to start coming out of this. I'm going to roll on over to my right side, bring my knees up, outside of the bolster, roll off the bolsters, and just rest my head on my arms. Okay, slowly come up into a seated position. Actually, you don't even have to do that. We're going to go right into another one on our backs, which I love. This one's easy peasy. We're going to take the little bolster. If you only have a large one, you could probably get away with that too. I don't know what your level of yoga is. It's going to be a little more intense if you do that, but you could roll up a blanket, put a couple pillows on top of one another. Right now I have my small bolster and I'm going to move the big one. For my head, I have a yoga towel. You can use a bath towel. I probably would rather even have something thicker, but I'm kind of used to laying on this thing, so I just kind of roll it up quite a bit. But yeah, bath towel, if you have a hand towel and want to overdo it like I do. And we're going to come lay on our head on the towel and take our feet and put them together. Now if that's too much for you, you can put blocks. I have 3 and 4 inch blocks. You could put some blocks under to support your legs. Matter of fact, that feels good. You can even do it higher and go like that. And that's a bit too much for me. Probably the 3 inch blocks would be good, but that feels kind of nice. So, yeah, I'm going to do that today. So what feels right for you, do what you need to do. If you don't need it at all, don't do it. So let's sit here for a few minutes. going to start slowly coming out of this pose. Take your legs, put them in together on top of the bolster. Just sit there for a moment, let your hips relax. Move the blocks if you're using them over. And roll on over to your right side again. Your knees in. And rest your head on your arm. And your elbows in your arm. Now you're going to come up into a seated position. Oh, okay. We're going to get ready for, it's a supported legs up the wall. It's a really neat, excuse me for a minute, my hair is falling out. It's a really neat, comfortable pose. It's easier than putting your legs up the wall. It makes a huge difference in my day. I do it just about every day. I do it in bed. I have a head support, and I put my legs up there with a couple pillows on it even, so my feet are hanging off a little bit, and it just feels so comfortable. And I put my feet straight up on there. Now, these are the 3-inch blocks I was talking about. Like I said, everything's linked below. I can't really do this particular pose without these Peloton blocks, and I don't, they're not that much money. I think I got them for like $10 during Prime Day. I think they're only $20, but they're very, very sturdy, and I feel comfortable with them. Leaning my body up against it with the bolster, where ordinarily I don't think other blocks would do as well, but you can still do that. You could even use books. Make sure they're the same size. So I just want to double check that with the legs up the wall, that the block goes this way and not this way. Let me just double check all that. Yes, I had it right. Okay, now in this particular one, you're going to need a towel too, or a belt, a yoga belt, to wrap your feet and keep them up there nicely. So let's get this going. This is a little funny for me, setting it up all the time, but okay, so I'm going to take this, lay this down. Let me get these blocks out of the way. And actually, I want the towel for my head. I like that, so I'm going to leave that there. So I'm going to start putting the yoga belt around the tops of my feet. And just, you don't have to loop it through, you can tie it, but this does give you the option to adjust it when you have it, oops, excuse me, loop through with the belt. So just come through both loops and then through the one before it, and then you just got a nice loop, and you can, actually I kind of rather have it the other way. Let me just see this. That way I can adjust it easier. There we go. Alright, so let's just start like this, and let's get our legs up. And make sure you brush your buttocks against the bolster or your pillows. And I'm going to have to tighten this a little bit. You need to tighten it before you get up here, because that's not a very easy thing. I just did all the time. Okay, and then rest your head back on, I like to rest it on my yoga towel, fold it up, and let's lay here for a few minutes. Let's start coming out of this pose. You can bend your knees up, take your feet out of the blanket towel or yoga belt you used, and roll on over to your side. Bring your knees in, rest your head on your arm. Slowly come up. We are going to come onto our belly. So let's come up and move these props out of the way. You're going to need a little blanket. I have my yoga towel. And fold, if it's a bigger towel, into fours for sure. A little yoga towel, more than that. You could even use a 3-inch yoga block would be kind of comfortable with this one, I think. So let's do, oh, we need the small bolster or a towel rolled up. So let's get that up. Okay. And I'm going to put that here, and we're going to get on our bellies. This is a supported frog pose. I'm going to start with this because I usually have a bigger towel here, but we're all good. Maybe I can do something like that. Okay, and we're going to lay down and just kind of hug the bolster, our hip, leaning on it to the opposite side that we're not using on the towel or block. Oh, I like the block. And then just bring our leg up like a frog. The other one goes straight down. And we'll stay here for a few minutes. We're going to start to slowly come out of this leg of the pose. Just come up a little bit. Catch your breath. Push yourself up just a little bit. Take your knee down. Put them together. Come up. You can just turn over. I am going to move this so you can see me. So I'm going to come up and do this side over here. Once again, I'm going to flush my hip up against this. Make sure this is ready for my leg. Down. Hug the bolster and bring my leg up like a frog. Do this for a few more minutes on this side. We're going to start to slowly come out of this pose. Just take your arms, push up a little bit, take your leg off the block blanket. You could have even used a pillow if you like, maybe a little couch pillow. And we're going to do a couple more poses before we go into a little bit more of a relaxing pose. Now this one, you're going to use the blocks again. Once again, I like my Peloton blocks, and I'm going to put them together. I like to use the big bolster for this one because I think it supports me more. So we'll take this out and put this over here, and the nice big blocks. The blocks are going to go the same way as they did for legs up the wall. And what we're going to do is, oh, but it's going to come towards us. I'm sorry. I don't usually do this like that. And, yeah. Actually, that's not going to hold it up. Oh, it does go like that. Okay. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, that's right. My photo up at my YouTube has this. I haven't done this for a while. Okay, we're going to do our legs around the bolster. So we'll just put that like that. Now, I can't necessarily reach my head down there, so what I like to do is to, you can put another little bolster, but blocks I think are easy to work with. So I'll kind of level myself up with blocks. Finish off maybe with a yoga towel. So let's see where we're at with this one. Okay, come around again. Okay. So, as I get into it, sometimes I move a block because my body will start to fall into it. You might find you'll be doing that too. You can use pillows ultimately, but let's just rest here for a little bit and then we'll turn our heads. If your knees are uncomfortable, you can put a block. The highest length or the lowest length under your legs. I should mention that too. That's very relaxing to do that. So you got all your blocks you realize maybe. Let's turn our head. We can start coming out of this one with our legs open. This is a really good way to help you stretch your legs out so you can open them up into a straddle. A lot of times it's really hard to get to that point. You can use these to hold you up and just stretch back. Feels so good. Now you can do head to toe a little bit. Let's move that back here. Just bring your feet out front. Looks really a little bit. Okay. Just hold on. Stretch your feet out. Push your back. Up. Your head back. Your elbows bent on a couple blocks if you have them. Not books. A couple towels. Just hold that for a little bit. And then your knees bent. Hold onto your feet, bend down. Stretch out a little bit. Push your chest forward, your head back a little bit. Stretch those knees, stretch those legs, stretch that body. Feel that muscle pulling your arms down to your elbows. Take a nice breath. We're going to go into supported child's pose. I omitted one pose, so that would be the extra number at this point, which we can just close out with that because that's very relaxing and a very good pose to close out with. The other two are a little too close together, I think, poses. So let's take a big bolster and let's just, if you're comfortable with a smaller one or a couple of pillows, fine, or roll up some blankets, and just bring your knees up over. Come down, hug your bolster, and just rest for a little bit. If you need to put a towel under your head or a block, I wouldn't put a 4-inch block, but maybe a 3-inch for some support, because you can't bring your head down comfortably that close to the bolster. Go ahead and do that. Slowly turn your head to the other side. Bring your chin to the middle. Rest your chin on your arms. You can put your head down a little bit too. Just coming out of it a little bit. Come up. Legs. If this is uncomfortable, just put the bolster in between, sit down, relax, do a little bit of a supported hero pose. Come off the bolster. You can sit up on it if you like. Let me close out the Reiki. I want my blocks under my legs. Spoiled of that. Okay. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not anger. Just for today, I will live in gratitude. Just for today, I will work honestly. And just for today, I will be kind to all living creatures. That is the Reiki principles. And if you accepted them, I hope you get some nice energy from it, healing energy. And thank you for joining me today for class. Till next time.